we understand that investigators are combing through the wreckage to determine really what caused that crash, and it killed all but one person on board, so
Saw that.
241
The
people.
fact that somebody walked away from that
I
is
can't imagine.
absolutely a miracle.
I can't wait to see the reporting on that. So
It is.
Has Boeing said anything? What's Boeing said since?
Boeing's actually sort of it hasn't said a lot. It's Boeing's basically deferring to the regulators and investigators on this matter. So they're sort of putting it onto investigators, saying they're not going to comment and they're not going to say anything about this accident. They're going to help with the investigation, but they aren't going to comment, and they're going to let the investigators sort of work through the whatever evidence that they can find and whatever sort of the black boxes and what they decode from those black boxes before they really make a determination and say anything on the matter.
This also gets to the investigation, but you know more than us about that particular airport in question. I understand that's known for a lot of bird strikes. Do I have that right?
There have been some bird strikes. I mean, again, at this point, it's a bit early to be saying what the matter is. I mean, at the moment, the accident's being investigated by the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau of India, and they also have investigators from the UK and the US who are assisting with the probe. And so they're looking at multiple angles in this investigation. And I think the DGCA, which is India's aviation regulator, also ordered some maintenance checks on all of Air India's Boeing 787s, including they're asking them to check on fuel systems, cabin air, engine control, hydraulics, just to rule out what really caused this incident.
Hey, so just thinking about Boeing, it seemed like just recently, maybe the last 6 to 9 months, Boeing was putting behind it a lot of the safety issues that have plagued it for the last several years, the 737 MAX and so on, and then this happened. What's the feeling within Boeing about kind of where they are in terms of getting back some of their engineering chops, their safety chops, getting production levels back up to where they need to be? What do you think the view is from Boeing?
So Boeing obviously has been working on improving their quality systems. They have a new CEO, Kelly Ortberg, who is sitting there, who has basically been working on improving quality and making sure that the company can actually ramp up production and ramp up safely. And so that's what they've been ramping up. And they've sort of just reached a key milestone on the 737 MAX, which is separate from the jet that actually crashed in India. And that jet is the one that had those 2 fatal crashes in 2018 and 19, and also the door plug falling off last year. And so they've ramped up production on that. They've sort of got to the FAA mandated level of 38 a month. And so they are in the process of sort of shoring up their company, shoring up their balance sheet. And this will be a sort of blow to that effort. And this will sort of force Kelly Ortberg, the new CEO, to sort of, again, go back into crisis mode. And I mean, he isn't going to be attending the Paris Air Show, which starts next week. He's decided to skip that along with Stephanie Pope, who leads the commercial unit.
Yeah, I was kind of curious how that proceeds. Arguably, the Paris Air Show is what? That's the biggest event on the aviation calendar, isn't it?
It is the biggest aviation event, typically where airlines splash out on big orders. There's lots. It's very celebratory. That's where airlines sort of talk about their future fleet plans, and aircraft manufacturers, including Airbus and Boeing, show off what their latest products are and all the innovations and developments that they have.
So where is Boeing in terms of, like, a lot of folks tell me, hey, if you're looking at Boeing, the only thing you'd really need to focus on is how many 737s are they getting off the line every month? Where are we right now, and where do they want to go?
At the moment, we're close to the FAA mandated limit of about 38 a month, and they have talked about getting beyond that to about 50 a month, but that is long term. It's not yet not a near-term consideration, but that's basically where Airbus, which is Boeing's direct rival, makes about 60 A321s, which compete with the 737 MAX. They make about 60 a month, and they have an ambition of reaching 75 a month by 2027.
Tell us about GE, the engines in question, and does Boeing, is GE just one of the many suppliers of engines for Boeing?
No, so GE is one of the main suppliers of engines for Boeing. I mean, on the 737 MAX, GE is one half of a joint venture that makes the exclusive engines for the 737 MAX. And they also provide all the engines on the 777X, which is the upcoming model, and they're one of two engine options on the 787. So they're a very, very important supplier in terms of the aviation ecosystem. They're a very important supplier to Boeing, and I mean this engine has is been in service for over a decade now, and so this isn't a new engine. It isn't an engine that has any particular issues.